Hello there. Dr. Bill Crawford here, psychologist, speaker, author of 8 books, host of 2 PBS specials. Here again to bring you another tip on how to help you create the life you want. Specifically, how to use my life from the top of the mind philosophy to bring more clarity, confidence, creativity into everything you do. Today I want to bring you more clarity on what I call one more tool for your toolbox. You know, one of the things I love to do when I go around the world teaching people my life from the top of the mind philosophy is give them as many tools as possible to become more influential in your life and the lives of others. And one of these tools has to do with clarity about our beliefs, our perceptions, our interpretations, our expectations. Because I believe it is our perceptions, interpretations, and expectations that have a tremendous amount of influence over our experience of life. Now, changing our beliefs is a pretty big deal. I've got some sentence completion things in the book and some ways of looking at that. And of course, you know, there are beliefs that are working really well for us. We don't have to change at all. So rather than kind of getting into that in this relatively short video, I want to give you a tool that you can use immediately, and one I think a lot of people aren't aware of. I think we have a tendency to define the negative people and situations in our past in terms of their effect on us. In other words, we have a tendency to define certain people or situations as annoying or depressing or stressful or irritating or worrisome. And doing so, while understandable, because I'm sure we have felt annoyed and stressed and worried and depressed and irritated in the past, has a tendency to begin to influence our present and our future in ways that I don't think is serving us, that we probably wouldn't recommend to someone we love. So rather than defining some person or situation in the past as annoying, which kind of sets up an expectation that if I deal with that person again in the future, I'm going to be annoyed, that becomes a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way we probably would not recommend to someone we love. I suggest we define it differently. In the past, I found myself feeling annoyed when I was dealing with this person. In the future, I want to be able to choose the quality or characteristic that I bring to that interaction so I don't give them the power to annoy me. See, when we define a person or a situation as annoying or frustrating or depressing or irritating, we're defining them in terms of their negative effect on us. And it almost gives them the power to make us feel that way because we're experiencing it that way. They made us feel annoyed. They made us depressed. They made us frustrated or angry or whatever. And since we don't want these negative situations in our past and the kind of difficult folks we find ourselves interacting with and the difficult situations we find ourselves interacting with in the present and future to have the power to make us feel bad, I think we want to take on that power ourselves. And one simple tool to do that is looking at the ing words we use, you know, depressing, annoying, frustrating, irritating. Because again, that sets up an expectation and that colors how we will find ourselves experiencing this person in the future. Now, they're not all bad, you know. We can define a book as motivating, a speaker as inspiring, an event as exciting. And those ing words are serving us very well because they really define how we want to experience that particular situation. So what we want to do, I think, is be very careful of the ing words we use and make sure we're using them in a way that we would recommend to someone we love. We can bring our more awareness to our past, and rather than defining a person as annoying, say, okay, yeah, I found myself feeling annoyed in the past, but I don't want to give that person or that situation the power to annoy me in the future. So instead, what are the qualities and characteristics I want to bring to that situation? Maybe confidence, maybe clarity, maybe kindness, influential, resilience, purposeful, whatever it is, as we begin to imagine going into this new situation in this more purposeful way, that sets up a new expectation. And it allows us to go into situations already in what I call the top of the mind. For those of you who follow my life from the top of the mind philosophy, you know I teach people how to access their clarity, confidence, and creativity by accessing a very specific part of the brain. And how to avoid the stress, frustration, anxiety, the stuff that gets in the way of our clarity, confidence, and creativity by avoiding a specific part of the brain. So what we don't want to do is have this middle brain, which serves as kind of a scanner, processor, router part of the brain, to route this data, maybe some difficult person or their behavior, down into the old brain stem where we start to feel annoyed and stressed and frustrated and angry. What we want to do is have this middle brain interpret a situation going forward in a way that allows us to choose our response from this very purposeful part of the brain, the neocortex, what I call the top of the mind. Now again, that's a process that I teach, and it's got like three particular components to it, and it's rather involved because, you know, life is rather involved. And I'd love to come and teach this to your organization, your church, your family, you. That would be great. In the meantime, however, what I'm going to encourage you to do is use this one simple tool. Pay attention to how we are describing the past. And if we are using ing words like annoying, frustrating, depressing, and irritating in a way that we do not want to bring into our present and our future, let's change those words to inspiring or exciting or challenging even, so that we choose qualities and characteristics that we would recommend to someone we love. That's what I get to do, going around the world teaching people how to access the purposeful part of the brain where we are choosing how we want to be. And the cool thing is, as we choose this again and again and again and again, pretty soon that choice starts to become a new habit. Just like seeing the world as annoying, frustrating, and worrisome and depressing in the past has been a habit, we can create this new habit of defining who we are, and especially those challenging situations we're dealing with, in a way that becomes a new habit. So we go into life already in the top of the mind. If you would like me to come and teach this to your leadership team, your organization, your family, you, all you got to do is go to my website, billcrawfordphd.com, or just Google Bill Crawford Ph.D. I'll come up on the first page. Hit the contact button, let me know what you're interested in, and I would love to talk with you about that. In the meantime, if you're liking the videos, please hit the like button, share them with your friends. You can subscribe on YouTube or LinkedIn, or follow me on Facebook, or subscribe on iTunes. I try to post these in a lot of the social media, so you have an opportunity to see these videos and kind of see if this is one more tool you want to put in your toolbox. So until we meet again, here's to you, bringing more clarity, confidence, creativity into everything you do in terms of how we define ourselves in the past, present, and future. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.